Welcome back. I'm in the office again. Isn't this shirt cool? We had Pampered Chef conference. We had all kinds of things, and I apparently didn't wipe my camera as well as I thought. So maybe try that. Slightly better. Anyway, but I'm really excited to do this because I've been wanting to show you this recipe for quite some time, and it was summer. So if you're in summer mode, this is a great recipe because it is smashed tacos. You aren't spending a ton of time doing this. They go together really quickly. I am super excited. So grab a drink, pull up a chair. We're gonna do it. It has like the turkey, it has the flavors. It's a little bit different than your usual taco, and maybe even a little bit healthier, but still super yummy. I'm looking for it. Okay, so Caesar salad, taco, not necessarily a combo that you would think of, but I found it in in Instagram, and I thought, well, let's try it out. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and just start this pan, and we are warming it up over like medium. I put in some avocado oil ahead of time, so that's going to be warming up. We're going to get our ground turkey ready. You can do ground chicken. You could do a lean ground beef if you wanted to do that too, but I'm sticking with this route because turkey is cheaper than chicken here. And anyway, so we're going to season it up, and we are not doing regular taco seasonings here. We are doing something Caesar-ish. So what we're looking for today, we are looking for some garlic powder and some onion powder, paprika, salt, pepper. These are things that you likely already have in your cupboard, or you probably should have them in your cupboard if you don't. And we'll go from there. So this is about a teaspoon of each, except for the pepper, which will be half a teaspoon. So here's our garlic powder. I'm going to put them away. I actually have them right on a shelf back here. So put them away while I'm going. Got our onion powder. The paprika, I actually ran out of my regular paprika, which is unusual because I buy it, in those bags. And I don't feel like they run out very quickly, but I was out. So we got the paprika, which is right here. Grab my handy dandy scissors and go from there. How do you buy your seasoning? Do you buy in bulk? Do you have a little bit here and there? Do you have things that are like 10 years old? I hope not. It loses flavor. It's not like it's going to go bad. It just doesn't have much flavor. So get rid of it. It's too old. It's okay. It's not that expensive. Great. At least most of the seasonings aren't too expensive. We're going to do some salt. Again, a teaspoon of salt. And about a half a teaspoon of pepper, which pepper I need to add on my list. We are running low here. I might actually even just have to, I'll just go. We're eyeballing it. If you don't know that about me, I love to eyeball stuff because I don't want to have to dirty dishes if I don't have to. And we'll go from there. So, I was going to show you my mix, but you can't see right there, so. Just going to mix it up and go from there. Something I do want to point out, if you don't already have these scrapers, the white ones are retiring. Some of them are already sold out. I want you to know about that. There's some really cute blue ones coming out. And as you can probably tell, I'm a sucker for blue. Blue shirt, blue bowl. I love the blue. So if you are a blue fan, hold out. But if you are a white fan and you need some scrapers, go ahead and grab them. It'll be good. All right, this does not need to be perfect. And actually, if you didn't even want to dirty a dish, you could just go ahead and plop them onto your tortillas and then season on top. But I tend to be heavy-handed in some parts and not in others, so this actually helps me out to be not so ridiculous with my non-measuring self. So, I see somebody says hi, hello. Where are you joining from? Are you in the U.S.? Are you far away? Who knows? You can share if you want. If you don't want to, that's okay. But I hope you find this recipe handy. I'm laying out these are taco-sized tortillas, and let me angle this. Hopefully I don't just like have it flop down. I'm asking a lot for my stand here, so I'm going from here. I was just saying about these retiring items, and this cutting board, it has the U.S. All right, awesome. I'm in South Dakota, so Glad you could join in. This has like ridges on the one side, so if you're cutting things that are juicy, it catches them. And the other side is just flat, but these are also going away very soon. We're having some new cutting boards coming out. I can't tell you more about that, but if you are really liking the white ones, they're nice. So we've had them for years in our catalog, so if you haven't checked them out before, the link is in my bio and you can go and see what's in there. But I have our turkey. And this is a 3-tablespoon scoop. It's called our large scoop. I'm thinking this is going to be about the right size. We're guesstimating. And I'm just going to go ahead and lay these out. And plop them in. And then we're going to smash them down, because that's the idea of a smash burger, right? We're smashing. Oh, this is about perfect, because the recipe that I'm using says 8, and I just laid out 6, and this is about perfect. So, yep, we're going to go with that. All right. If you're grossed out by touching meat, don't do this with your bare hand. I'm going to do this, and my sink is right behind me, so I'll wash my hands after. And I just washed my hands before I started, so don't get all weird on me, okay, Internet? We're going to just kind of get these out as far as we can. It does not need to be perfect, but we want to have them thin, because the idea of a smash burger is that it's like a flash cooking. You don't really have to cook them for very long, so it saves you a lot of time, and it makes for a really great texture. So if you haven't done smash burgers before in a taco form, it's fantastic. And you can just do this with regular taco meat if you wanted. Do this in your taco, put whatever you want in like you would normally do for a taco, but it's super simple, and you don't have to make your taco meat ahead of time. Then you can just use your meat, put in the seasonings that you like, and go from there. Super slick. I can probably only fit 3 in my pan, so I'm just going to do 3 and go from there. By the way, this is a 4.5 quart stainless steel pan. It basically lives on my cooktop because it gets used for everything. We have a family of 5, and so it is big enough to hold everything and then some. So I can make a big batch of food and have some leftovers and not have so much in my pan that things take forever for them to get done, or they like get steamed instead of seared or stuff like that. If you like to cook cuts of meat, this is nice because you have a lot of surface area to work with, so you have things spaced out and it actually cooks it properly instead of like kind of doing a weird steam and it doesn't turn out right. So here we go. Let's try her out. Face down. I'm going to do 3. It's really squashed in here, but it'll be okay for now. All right, so I'm going to just finish doing the last of these tap outs here. But while I'm doing this, I want you to think about what kind of topping you would do on your taco. Go ahead and share if you have some ideas. I don't recommend putting cheese right in the meat, although you could do a little bit. It can get a little messy. Been there, done that. So just keep that in mind too. It's not always the best. I actually like to do a Tex-Mex kind of thing. I've done Tex-Mex turkey meatloaf and put some cheese and things and gone that way. So think about those basics that you have, you know, things like meatloaf, things like goulash, things like, you know, whatever, and put a spin on it. Maybe you make your goulash taste like a taco. Maybe you take your meatloaf and you make it taste like a taco. Anything can taste like a taco, except for tonight. We're making our tacos taste like a salad. It's that kind of stuff that it keeps you from getting bored when you're eating. Sometimes we just need a little extra inspiration. The same old thing doesn't sound good, and you went out to eat, or you don't feel like eating things that are necessarily good for you. So I think it's just a nice way to keep things fresh and fun and go from there. All right. Oh, I have like 10 tacos shells, and I think I only need this many. So maybe I'll end up doing more, but I'll cook them off camera, or maybe I'll save them for tonight. My husband actually works evenings, and so I can make him a fresh one when he gets home tonight. He'll appreciate that. So this should only take about 3 or 4 minutes. And of course I'm talking, so I'm not paying any attention to what I'm doing. But I'll smash these out a bit. Let's get these last 2 here. We gotta make some sauce for this. So, our sauce, we are making like kind of a homemade-ish Caesar-y dressing. Should be pretty yummy. I have one more. We're getting 9 out of this, so I guess I'll do 3 batches. And the dressing is stuff, actually, I didn't even have to go to the store to buy anything other than I was out of a fresh lemon. But you could even do, if you had the, you know, stuff in a plastic lemon, you could do that with this. It's not a huge deal. Just make sure it's fresh so that it doesn't have a weird, funky taste to it. If it gets a little old, it starts to taste bitter, and you don't want that. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hand. And we'll go from there. So our dressing. And I might just eyeball this too, because that's what I like to do. After I check our tacos. Let's see. Are we ready to flip? Oh, yeah. See, look, I'm going to show you the sear. I could have gone a little closer to my edge. Sometimes it shrinks up a little more. I think the chicken does more than anything else. But let me go ahead and set that here. And I'm going to grab a plate because I am going to do a cook on the other side just to make it brown. But I don't want it to get too brown, so I just want to be prepared. I forgot to grab that. So, okay. Let that go. I'm going to turn that up just a bit. The thing with stainless is when it's ready to flip, it will release. And I don't know if you noticed when I was playing with it, I actually tried to see if I could move it, and it really stuck. And that's what it's supposed to do. It adheres while you want to get your pan nice and hot. And then you're going to put your food on there, and it's going to make a layer, and it's going to stick to it until it's ready to flip. So it actually, the food lets you know when it's ready to flip, which is kind of handy. You're in a rush. This one I must have mashed out a little bit better. You can see my meat got a little closer. So it's all good. We're eating it at home. It's not a big deal. It's just a lot of fun. I am going to peek at my back side of my shell. It's not quite brown yet. Oop, oop, oop. I'm losing my meat over here. We don't need that. Okay. I was working the dressing. You remind me. Yell at me if I'm losing myself in the dressing. And I forget that I need to check these. This is what happens to me, okay? Alright, so what we need here. We are going to do, let's see, 2/3 of yogurt. This is a plain yogurt. I am using this handy dandy guy. I said I don't like to measure, but this one, I don't know if I can eyeball it the best, so I'm going to do that. Stir my yogurt a little bit. This is great for peanut butter. I'll do mayo here in just a bit. Actually, maybe I won't. Because I don't want to dirty another thing. There you go. You can see, maybe if you saw through my arm, it just plopped right out. That was handy. I can grab a spoon too. Okay. We're going to grab some mayo. This is just about 2 tablespoons, so I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to measure with my heart. It's a little less finicky than 2/3 of a cup, if you know what I mean. I'm going to actually angle this back up so you can see me a little better. And go from there. And of course, Duke's is my favorite. I don't get paid for that. I just like it. All right, let me check this. It's probably overdone now. A little bit. It's okay. It's nice and toasty on the bottom. All right. Oh yeah, we're good. And if I was handy, I'd have some paper towels here. Or if you had a cooling rack, you could do that too. That'll work well. I'm going to add just a tiny bit more oil. I still have some, but I want to add just a bit. And get ready with this next bunch here. Whoop. Hit the edge of it with my arm. That's not a good thing to do. All right, got that going. Get this out of the way. We are going to do some Parmesan. Now, do I have fresh grated Parmesan? Yes, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. This is just for the dressing, and sometimes when I have like the strings, I don't really like it. So I'm actually just going to do good old canned Parmesan, and that will work just fine here. You need about 3 tablespoons, which again, I'm going to eyeball 1, 2, 3. That's good. Okay, we're going to do a little Dijon mustard. It'll give a little zing. It's about a teaspoon. That might have been a little bit more, but we like Dijon. We're going to do some Worcestershire sauce. Again, this is probably about a tablespoon, or a teaspoon, excuse me, not a tablespoon. I'll be a little more tame with that because my youngest, I don't think he's a fan of it all the time. We're going to do a little bit of salt, about a 1/4 teaspoon, a little bit of pepper, and I'm going to do actually a fresh clove of garlic here. We're going to get more garlic. We're layering the flavors so that it gives it a little more zing. This is my garlic press, which is actually, it's a June freebie this time, which I was pretty excited for June. Sorry, July freebie for Pampered Chef host. So if you don't know anything about that and want to know what a pop-up could look like, be sure to holler. I'm not going to talk much more about it, but it is a great way to get some really good deals on all these things that I've been mentioning. I'm going to stir this up just a little bit, and then I'm going to add in our lemon juice, which is right here. I took my lemon out of the fridge. It's been warming up to room temperature. I'm rolling it just a bit under my hand. It breaks up the membranes and makes it easier to juice, which is nice to have. I'm going to go ahead and use my juicer and go from there. Alright. And if I need any milk to thin this out, which I might not, it's right there. Okay, to get this a little smoother, I'm going to go ahead and do the little whisk. Guess what? The little whisk is going away too. So this actually is looking pretty thin already. I don't want it to be too messy. So let me taste the flavor a bit. Let's see where we're at. Pretty good. You just joined. All right, thanks for joining in. We are making our turkey tacos, smash burgers, whatever I'm trying to say. And I just am working on this dressing. So, things that I think we could use, maybe a bit more pepper and a bit more salt. And that garlic flavor is going to meld in as it sits there. So, there's our dressing. Now, if I wanted to be fancy and do it like this recipe that I found, they had garlic croutons. They had all of the lettuce. They had the dressing, and then it just tossed everything together and then put in the fresh Parmesan that was shaved. We're going to shave some Parmesan, but I'm not going to put it all together, and here's why. Sometimes kids are weird about new things, and I have kids in my house, and so I want to keep things as basic as I can, because then I don't have to worry about, oh, this is icky, I don't want to try it, right? They get to pick what they want on it. We are all eating the same meal, but we are doing it in such a way that everyone feels like they get to pick what they get to do with it. And that seems to make new foods go over better. So if you have picky people in your house, that's a tip for you. Just do things so that they look similar to what you had before and change it up just a little bit. So I'm going to just cook the backside of this a bit. And while we're going here, I'm going to get this Parmesan ready to go. So this is going to be our add-on. So when I go to load mine up, here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle on my fresh parm. Then I'm going to add my lettuce, and then I'm going to go ahead and drizzle on the dressing, or I might do dressing and lettuce and do both, or, you know, whatever you want to do. This is such a nice neat block. Watch me not try to cut my hand. This is what I'm going to try not to do. All right, there we go. Let's see if you can see it. Okay, here's this. I have this set up, it can go flat, so like it'll fold this way for storage. It has a sliding cover. It can go this way, but I'm going to use it like a little stand and catch everything underneath. Because this is so long, I'm daring to do this, but I'm being very careful because sometimes you hit a hard part in your cheese, and I have skin to knuckle, so be careful if you try it this way. Alright, and I'm going to pause because I'm starting to smell my tacos, so let's do that last batch. They just need to be brown on the backside, so we're good. Alright. This is looking good. Just a tiny bit more. Ooh, we're starting to get a little smoke. Sorry. Let me turn on my fan. It'll get noisy, but that might help a little bit. That's what happens when you do a third one, I guess. There we go. Got it. I'm going to adjust that down just a bit. It's getting a little bit too warm now. So while we're doing that, I'm going to continue grating my cheese. What I like about this is that I wasn't talking for 10 years. We are at 21 minutes and 44 seconds that I've been live. And that included me yapping and talking and showing you things and walking around the circle. And what I wanted to show you is that you can do this and it'll take about 20 minutes. And it's right. So if we need more, I'm going to go ahead and grate some more. But that's our cheese pile here. And scoop this over. You can see how nice and fine that is. Alright. So, assembly, because you'll want to see that. You don't need to watch me make my third batch here. I have some lettuce. This is romaine that I already cut up and it's clean. But what I wanted to show you about this is the salad spinner, which has not been available for quite some time, is actually back. So it will be available September 1st. So if this is something that's on your wish list, holler. I can send you a peek at what the new one looks like. And I'm kind of excited about how the top works. So it's a little different. If you know what the old one looks like as a pump, this one has a turd on it. So pretty slick. I'm going to go ahead and just make one of these tacos and show you what it looks like. So we have our chicken taco and a little bit of cheese. Probably a lot of it is cheese. I have my lettuce that I'm going to put in. I have my dressing that I can pour on. And this is the one, of course it's a really hot one that I just took off. So. And I can be generous with my dressing here. Or not, depending. Maybe a little more cheese just for fun. The croutons would be cute, but added calories, added expense. I'm going from here. I'm totally going to pull a Food Network and eat it and see what I think. And I'll just tell you. See if you need anything else. I think it's good. If you're a garlic fan, bump up your garlic a little bit more. But I think it has great flavor. And if you really like Caesar, why don't you try mashing up, you know, a little bit of a sardine or an anchovy and mix it in there. That would be good. Alright, I'm going to rinse off my hands and continue cooking. And this was our turkey Caesar smash taco. Super easy. 20 minutes. Super fun. If you do not already get my email, go to the link and subscribe, okay? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out the recipe so you don't have to rewatch this and write it all down. I will send you what our family actually thought of it. And I always like to share tips and tricks in there, so be sure you're on there. And I'll hope to catch you next time. And of course, I'll let you know if you don't already subscribe to the channel, you get a ping when I'm going to be live, but you'll get an email too. So anyway, I'm going to go enjoy this. And I hope that you try it. Let me know if you do and what you thought of it. I'll catch you later. Have a great night.